Oh my
I
God,
love-
I did it. I did
God.
hit it.
I
Oh my
love
God,
the
you
fear
did.
in your voice when you say, I'm going to hit record.
Guys,
Like,
ready or not, here it goes.
like I'm about to release my manifesto the second you hit it. You know?
I am going to hit record. The government is
It's
trying to stop
happening.
us from eating ass.
There have been harsh sanctions against eating ass.
You know what, though? You go down the rabbit hole long enough, and the government is anti-poor people having sex, for sure.
Yeah, no,
For
yeah.
sure.
for sure.
Which doesn't
For
make
sure.
sense because they need us to breed to keep exploiting us.
Yes,
And it's
they do.
also weird because like their currency is like TNA. Like the way that they communicate
Right.
is like,
Yeah.
you like this shit, right? And then
Yeah.
they're like, but you, it's sort of like your parents who like, you make like sex jokes with them and it's like all fun and whatnot, but they're still sort of blissfully pretending that you're a virgin, like no matter
Right.
how old you are. Yeah.
Even though they want grandchildren desperately.
Yeah, just you can't fuck
You know?
to get them. Just
Right.
find
Well,
one on the corner.
I mean, if
you know?
anything, with all this fucking news coming out, has told us is that rich people do horrible sexual stuff all the time.
Oh,
Yeah.
All the
yeah,
fucking
like because they're
time.
bored. Yeah.
Yeah, all the time. And regular poor people get shamed on the news for eating ass at a ball game.
Yeah.
You know, like it is.
To be
Like,
fair,
if you-
I would shame you if I was taking you to a nice ball game and you started
You
eating
ate my
ass.
ass.
Did
Right
you
in the middle of
see,
it.
Mike? Did you see when that guy was eating his girlfriend's ass out in the Detroit Lions game parking lot?
No, this is news.
Dude, you know how many people sent me that video?
How many
Everyone
jokes
sent
that
me
you
that
got
fucking
involved the words tailgate?
Yeah. Oh, dude,
Like
absolutely.
150% of the jokes had tailgate incorporated in them.
I had so many people go, "Oh, is this the wit? Is the wit doing this?" Yeah, I'm at the Detroit Lions
Yeah.
game.
Yeah, I
bro.
went to Michigan to meet up with a chick
I'm at the
and eat
Detroit
her ass in a
Lions.
parking lot.
Eat some parking lot ass. I mean, it is.
It is that is the American dream, though. Let's be totally honest.
Eating ass at a ball game, right?
And then
Any
grilling
ball
a
game.
few hot dogs on the back of your pickup. You know, it
Yeah.
doesn't get much better.
Let's do the old Motor City butt motorboat.
That may well be
Backfire
the
on me,
Alabama
baby,
fart party.
backfire.
That is the
that
Michigan
is way
motorboat
better.
is strictly
That is
butt cheeks.
Mike, that's way better than a Confederate Alabama fart. We'll have ourselves a good old-fashioned Alabama Confederate fart party.
Like grandma used to do.
Yeah. And we're not
welcome.
taking any union currency either.
No, absolutely not. Welcome to Castlevania. Do you remember when he said that, Mike?
How does it go? It's a horrible night for a murder.
You,
I
instead
forget.
of doing welcome to Jurassic Park, you said welcome to Castlevania. And just the idea of in my head, and no one even did it. The idea in my head of the soundtrack playing da-na-na-na-na, while they're fucking floating eyeballs and Medusa heads and zombies and snakes everywhere, like broke me in that early episode of Power Pals, and I was laughing like an idiot. You guys were like, "What's so funny?" I was like, "Oh, dude,
You have to be there in my head.
Sam Neill and Laura Dern just freaking out over all of it.
This is way out of our wheelhouse. We're paleontologists.
to Castlevania." Dude, like it sucks.
They move
It
and herd.
sucks so hard.
They do
You
move.
should have
in
called Dr. Van Helsing, not us.
Like everyone's look of wonder, and then smash cutting to the shit show that is Castlevania. You know, like little blobs and a guy whipping a candle to get a piece of meat out of it to eat. Like none of it.
Yeah.
It's cool.
It's
None of these are even in the same era. What is this shit? There's a barbarian with a whip. How did that happen? First of all,
Where did he get the technology?
Yeah, but the title crawl said 20XDX. I don't know when that is. What is the name of this show, guys?
In the future, time is measured by pornography. So it is the year 20XDX. Double XL.
Well, you should know because it's right behind you. If you just turned around, you'd know. Or if you ducked real quick, we'd all know. Whoa! Oh. Look, guys, it's the Power Pals. That's us. We're Power Pals. That's us.
Oh,
good phonetics work there, Shaves.
Power Pals. That's us.
I was trying to find a way to mispronounce it, and then I was like, "Shit, no! Phonetically, we've picked a very convenient, approachable, easy name. It's good."
Yeah, you remember all the fights we had about the phonetics of Power Pals?
How are we going to say this? Powerfuls. Powerfuls.
Powerful.
Powerful.
Yeah, we're powerful. Powerful. We're powerful.
Mike, what is this show about?
Cocaine.
No, actually.
Oh no, that's Powder Pals. That's a different.
That's our other.
Totally different show.
Yeah, bro. Check it out. Hold on. Let me see if I can do it. I'm trying to do these lines on the screen.
Did you just do a bump of neon laser grid?
I did. I'm trying to.
A bump of neon synthwave.
A bump of. That's pure 1980s.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh, let me rub it on my gums. Let me rub that neon on my gums.
Yeah.
Oh, God. Oh, I'm back in Chicago. All right. Who wants to talk about how fucking sexy my script is?
Our main character has the tannest dick.
Hey, did you say the tannest dick? Dude, this dick is so tan, bro. Oh, man, it's like that good grease tan, too.
You said that to me once. I don't know what show we were talking about, but we were making up a guy, as we do. Yeah, and at one point you said he has the tannest dick in Cincinnati. And I laughed so hard that I mentally left the building. I was in another dimension for a few moments.
Was it when we were watching that awful cop movie that Zach had us watch when we were talking shit about it?
I think that might have been it, yeah. I love the idea of this like floating universe populated by the people we've created. You know, like all like Jack Vance and
they all live there together.
Yep, and our Dr. Appendix from the last episode. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, Benny Hill and Richard Dawson are there.
Yeah. Oh, I don't even remember Dr. Appendix.
You don't remember Dr. Appendix, whose whole
this stuff is starting to leave my brain.
Like the whole purpose in life is in the like medical dictionary for like under appendix to write.
Oh yes, I remember.
He had a lot of fun doing that,
and he said, "That's enough fun for now." After
back to business.
Oh, so this show is about. Oh God!
It's about restoring the balance.
About nerd stuff. Who cares? All right, welcome to our show. We got Avery Faith, Mike Black,
and toys and shit, and all the fun stuff that you probably like because you're a nerd too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get so drained by the idea of doing a nerd intro on anything, you know?
Avery, the way you said that, I just pictured you straightening a young boy's bow tie and getting ready for school. Don't worry, because you're a nerd too.
It's all right. You'll find someone who understands. No, it's funny. It's like so in group therapy, like every now and then we get someone new and we'll have to do let's introduce ourselves. And I'm like, I'm not doing this shit again. Like I've just started saying dumb shit where I'm like, hey, I'm Avery and I'm in, these same pants for the 5th day in a row. There you go. That's your tidbit that you get about me.
That should tell you all you need to know.
That's all you need to know right there.
I don't know if I don't think I have the shame capacity to do group therapy.
Oh, are you kidding? I think
know
you and I would
couldn't.
have a blast because there's a certain level to which you recognize that like nobody else is getting into it. So you're like, fuck it, this is my show.
Wait,
this is all
You're saying
me.
us do group therapy together with strangers? Yes.
Are you kidding? All we'd be doing the whole time is like take part.
I mean, we would look like two morons for sure, but yes, we would have a great time in that ridiculous reality you've constructed where we're both in the same anonymous group therapy session.
Can you imagine like zoning into that Zoom and being looking at the faces and being like, yeah, so what, and being like, oh my god, oh fuck, oh my god, it's you.
Yeah, I can't. I mean, I can. Yes. I don't think I'd be upset.
No, really, it wouldn't. It would be, yeah, it would just, the dynamic would instantly change. Everyone else would feel like the way they normally make me feel in group therapy, you know? Like, I know something you guys don't know.
Secret knowledge is a big thing with the mentally unwell.
That describes the whole like nerd community appeal, you know, is like, oh, you know that? I've got something else for you. Hold on, what about this? You know this?
Yeah, well, you guys know a lot about comic books, but did you know if you draw enough triangles with your shit, a doorway will open? And, you can get all the sandwiches you want out of it?
That is the door to the cafeteria, and we appreciate it. Mr. DeWitt
spreading your feces.
Yeah, it's just because like they're like, it's gonna take us forever if we just let them keep drawing triangles. It's like, let's just open the door and give him a sandwich.
Just let him get whatever sandwich he wants and just get him the fuck out of here.
I mean, that's how, you know, though, that's how magic probably started. It's like someone did something and then they were like, oh shit.
We're tired of all the deer hearts like on our doorstep, you know, like
yeah.
Fucking give him our girl. We're done. We can have another
girl. Yeah. And then they're like, oh shit, that spell worked or whatever.
It was a love spell.
Did you know that chimpanzees will do that when you teach them sign language?
What?
Like when they'll sign to be given a banana.
Yeah.
But sometimes, and they'll film them later, sometimes when they're all alone, I'm going to pop my headphones on real quick because my kid is yelling in the bathtub.
That's totally our ambiance. Keep it on.
Okay, here.
Bump that.
Yeah. So,
you were saying about
chimpanzees.
They would sign banana. Yeah, they try to. They'd be like, "Give me a." But they didn't know they were being watched by the cameras. They like look around and they would go, "Give me a banana," like to see if they could like summon a banana.
Summon! Oh my god, that's so cool.
So they were like doing like they're trying to summon bananas with their sign language.
Well, it's like they're trying to figure out if it's the act of doing the motion gets the banana or if it's actually like the message. Yeah. You know, that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
That is cool.
Chimpanzees are awesome.
Yeah, chimpanzees are cool, man.
And they're very quick to delve into the dark arts.
Those are the three things I love most: chimpanzees, DMT, Joe Rogan. You think they've ever given a chimpanzee DMT and made them listen to Joe Rogan?
No,
I've been really.
No, that's the end of humanity right there.
Is DMT that drug that he's pushing? I'm not familiar with it. What is that?
DMT is called the spirit molecule. It's the drug that makes you like see God.
But he has like
and
a version
I really
of
want
it
to
that
do
he's selling, right? Like he has something called like
no, that's
Alpha Mind.
No, Alpha Brain, and I don't trust it. I don't trust it because I've also heard someone else be a spokesperson for it, and that guy's name was Joey Coco Diaz, and that motherfucker is not healthy at all. Yeah. And when I hear him be like, wash your nutsack off, dog. Get your ass licked. Eat some ass. Take your fucking Alpha Brain. Smoke a joint. Get your day started. This is Joey Diaz. Like, you're like, what? This is not healthy. This guy is the least healthy person I have ever met.
Counterpoint, he is the least healthy person I've ever met, and he's still alive.
Right?
So maybe the shit's working. It may be working overtime.
I don't know.
So, Andrew, I'm going to sound
I just don't believe.
I'm going to sound like a narc or a square or something, but am I mistaken, or I used to, so is DMT like, so you know how MDMA is like a part of speed? Am I mistaken? I thought DMT was like a derivative of another drug or like a component of another drug.
It is the active ingredient in ayahuasca. So
okay, that's it. All right.
That is the part of ayahuasca that makes you trip and see all the gods and stuff, you know?
That's like peyote,
but
right?
The ayahuasca experience is supposed to be. No, that's different. I don't know exactly how different it is. But yeah, an ayahuasca ceremony you can get like really sick.
Yeah, peyote's a little bit more like of a trip, like I mean, I could be talking to my ass, but more of like a distortion on like the reality around you. Whereas like ayahuasca, from what I gather, is like supposed to be like transportative, like you on another plane of existence.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah. And when you smoke DMT, it's like a condensed version of it. So it's like a 10-minute super intense hallucinogenic spiritual experience, as opposed to the like 6-hour plus kind of journey you go on when you do the ayahuasca.
Yeah.
Well, you've been in the tank for like 15 minutes now. So we should probably wait till you come out before you do it.
Tank shit. I started telling my therapist about this whole idea. Me worrying about being stuck in a tank, or like.
Did a little bead of sweat form at the side of his head when you told him that?
Being real. No, it's because it's a woman. But yes.
Well, that makes more sense, doesn't it? That you would construct a woman therapist.
I don't think a man therapist would put up with all my bullshit.
Yeah, let me ask you, DeWitt, like as a guy, do you have that experience? Do you like male or female therapists better?
I can be more open with a female therapist. I get more practical advice from male therapists.
I think that's just universal.
What do you mean?
Well, because most women I know are more comfortable with a female therapist, but you know, that feels like it could just be the bias of like, you know, talking to a girl or something like that. But if a man also feels more comfortable, talking to a woman about it, you know, the doctor about like feelings and stuff.
Yeah, I would say that's probably right. You know, I think guys don't like talking to other guys about feelings in general.
And I think as a woman, you're immediately like, I am definitely not going to tell you my shit because you're probably going to like fuck me over with it, you know? Like,
Right.
Oh, I never even considered what it'd be like being a woman going to see a dude therapist. I can't believe that even happens anymore.
Oh, dude, my current therapist is a dude, and it was real hard at first. Like, I almost dropped him at first, and it had nothing to do with him. It was just the concept of like, I don't know if I can do this, you know? And then it was like, I mean, there's even things where I say sometimes where I'm like complaining about a guy, and I'll be like, I don't know, maybe it's just a fucking guy thing. Maybe it's just like guys just like, you know, and then I'm like, oh, I'm sorry. Like, oops. Oops, I hope I haven't hurt your feelings, you know? Please still be my therapist.
I think you're allowed to be as sexist. Yeah. You definitely want to have abandonment concerns about your own
therapist dumped you, right? You're an asshole. Oh my God.
Why don't you go see a girl and talk about it? If your therapist pulled that move.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Well, I guess I'm just not listening because I guess I zoned out because I'm a dude and not a girl. Like, it's all passive aggressive with that.
Oh my god.
What a shitty therapist.
But I kind of want to see that therapist.
That would be
It's just that blunt about how he feels about all of it.
Right? So I'm not here for your bullshit today. Whoa. But it's your hour, so go ahead.
My therapist pretty much made it all about him, and then he explained a bunch of shit I already knew. It was really fun.
It was awesome.
Yeah. I mean, if I was going to go to a life coach, I'd probably go to a dude life coach, but a lady therapist, you know?
A good point, yes.
The dude life coach would be like, I looked at your list. We're going to cut like 80% of this shit out of here. Like,
yeah, that session is like,
you know, you got to fucking.
Yeah, that session's like 2 minutes long. You just come in the room and go, get your head out of your ass.
See, sounds like everybody's bullshit. All right, deal with it. There you go.
All right. You're gonna work out, you're gonna eat clean, and you're gonna write down the shit that you need to do on a piece of paper, and you're gonna scratch it off one by one. Okay? Your life coaching session is complete.
You are a physical trainer. You are not a
$300. Oh.
Oh man. So let's get into some of these questions.
Yeah. So I'm sitting a little cache of questions that we didn't answer from last time. So I'm gonna start.
Let's go to the questions cache.
Let's open it up. All right.
Now that we're with the therapy talk session, Mike, did you want to tell us what you learned in therapy?
I've never ever been to therapy, and they're not getting me.
Well, don't go because you'll quit stand up like me.
You'll quit everything you love, really. Actually,
pretty much the universe quit stand up for me. It was like, no, we'll just take away stages, then you'll stop going.
How about that? Do it now, bitch.
Dude. I was questioning. I cannot tell you right before the coronavirus thing how much I was like, am I fucking myself over by leaning into art instead of focusing on stand-up and acting and stuff? And then this shit hit, and I was like, oh, God, thank God I had something else, you know?
Yep.
Because this shit is rough, dude. All of my friends who are stand-ups, they all are looking for work. All of them. You know, they're all like trying to scramble up writing stuff, anything they can get their hands on. And auditions are not great either for people. No. You know?
I haven't had an audition since it started, you know.
My friend does accounting on.
No, I don't think I've had.
And he just finally got like something that came through, but it's also like it's in like Budapest because it's like one of the few fucking places where they'll still tolerate us, you know. But he also had to jump through a million hoops to go there, and he even thought that he'd be going there and then just spending the whole time like in a hotel room in Budapest, and then that they were basically going to have everybody on like like individual quarantines, and they finally like got the things so that they can all show up to work. But I mean, it's a mad world, boys.
Yeah,
it's crazy, man. It's definitely crazy.
I've got a bunch of questions to help.
Yeah, let's do that.
Let's do that. Sounds awesome.
Instead of the world.
Okay, so
sorry, guys.
Oh, this is so cute. I love that. Okay, so this is our buddy, David. So we can't pronounce your name, all right? We love you, and we can't pronounce your name. David Ace Gutierrez.
It's Guadalajara's.
Guantanamo. And then DM Gutierrez at Twitter. You're our pal, and we love
Slide into my DMs, Gutierrez.
Slide into our DMs with the correct pronunciation of your name. I'm so fucking sorry. Okay, because you're solid. You're good. We love you. All right. Your question is a good one too. It is, what is the great white whale for our collections? Mike, for you, that would be like your figurines and stuff.
Okay.
And then for DeWitt, it looks like it would be your miniatures, and then a book edition. But I actually have a different idea for that one. So go ahead.
Okay, I have a number of white whales in action figure
Yeah, right.
collecting.
There's details even on that one, subsections.
Yeah, probably the one that sticks out the most is because I had a few opportunities to buy it and didn't. And it was the original NECA black and white version of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. And it was a box set of all 4 of them looking the way they looked when Kevin Eastman and Peter Laird first drew them. And I always thought it was really cool, but I just didn't ever have money at the right time, or I would have just enough, but it would kind of screw me over for the next week or two. And
you knew that if something happened, you couldn't forgive yourself for like, great, I've got some turtles, but no car, you know? Yeah.
Exactly. And then they shot up in the last year or two. Anytime I got money, I would go back and look at getting them. And now they're at like $500, something like that online. So it's pretty much out of my league, you know.
Oh, no, Jerry's got it. Could you trade him?
I don't think he wants to, and I don't blame him, you know.
Yeah, maybe. You never know. You never know.
I know.
You'd be like, I got these baseball cards,
right.
Magic the Gathering, land.
Well, that's the thing, is anything he would want to trade for, I wouldn't want to give up either.
I don't want to give up.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. What about things you have doubles of only? Only doubles. Do you remember how you used to say that?
I don't really know what he's interested in that he doesn't have. You know?
Yeah. I remember going when I collected X-Men cards. Do you remember when the X-Men cards came out?
Yeah.
Like with their power levels and stuff on the back of them and all that.
Right.
This is like 93, I think, maybe.
Are these the ones that Boris Vallejo did a lot of the artwork for?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
I remember bringing those to school and trading with people, and I'd be like, I'm only trading my doubles.
Right.
And people getting pissed. They'll be like, we'll give you all these. I was like, I have all of these cards. I'm not trading for things I have, you know?
Are you the kid who brought the first issue of Gambit to school?
Yeah, that was me. That was me. You know, me bringing in all my cool stuff and having strict rules about it didn't always work out real good.
I don't know why that would be.
It didn't impress people the way you thought.
People really like strict rules.
People like two things. Fat nerd boys and strict rules. Outspoken, not self-aware fat nerd boys.
There's nothing they like more than being disciplined by someone they can easily beat the crap out of.
I can handle myself in a fight, but only because of fat. You know, like, you remember that in elementary school, how like the fat would like, you're like, oh, this fat's really working for me, man. Like they just can't move me.
I never had that sentiment exactly, but yes.
I remember getting in a fight with my other fat friend, and we both charged each other, and then we rammed into each other and just stayed. It was the weirdest. No one went anywhere. I was not used to this at all, and he wasn't either, because his move was to ram people with his big fat shoulder. You know, so like then when we used our fat on each other, we went no. It was such a weird sensation of non-force. You know?
I like that you both defied physics.
Oh, dude, it probably opened us up into this shitty timeline, huh? Where all the bad stuff happened.
You ruined the universe.
when two fat Magic the Gathering nerds collide with each other, they'll open up a portal.
Billy, why are you crying? Two fat asses slammed into each other and ruined the universe. That's why.
Yeah, there's a little blind kid in a wheelchair, and he's like sobbing, and they're like, Billy, what's wrong? And he's like, those two fat kids rammed into each other, and now 9/11's gonna happen.
Billy's crying blood. Run, everybody, run.
You don't understand. No one will get ready for it. It's gonna happen. Oh man.
What's
did we answer
like,
that question?
Thing?
Only one of us did.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. What about yours, DeWitt? What's your sacred thing you'd like to collect?
So
David specified miniatures, but if you have something else that comes to mind that's like your thing, that's fine.
As far as miniatures goes, this is really strange. Because Games Workshop, which does all the Warhammer miniatures, they get better every year. So there's nothing from the past that I would be like, oh, I've got to have that.
Yep.
You know, because it just keeps getting so much better than it used to be that the new stuff
even
is,
just like portion, you know?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. The new stuff is so much better. It almost hurts to look at some of the older stuff.
Is there a new thing that you're like worried that you wouldn't be able to afford, but you really want?
No, I could buy anything in the store. But that's only because they can only have a set price point. You know, they don't go over like $150 usually. I'm trying to think if there's anything related to that I really, really want that I haven't gotten. I think I'm going to make myself get a glass case because I've got like a bookshelf kind of thing for my miniatures now, and they just get too fucking dusty. And dusting miniatures is the biggest pain in the dick. It's probably like it is action figures, but like
absolutely,
it sucks, right, Mike?
They get caught in the duster, and then there goes half of them on the floor, and
and the thing.
You guys use air
the air can. Here's the thing with the air can with miniatures, they fly all over the fucking place. You know, because they're so lightweight. You go because I did it. I did get an air can, and then I went and I just went. It went like an explosion. You know.
Now, do you do the little like bits of poster tack or anything like that to keep them in place?
I have magnetic bases for them. You know. But the air can will blow off a helmet too sometimes, you know, if you catch it in the wrong place. So I'm going to have to soak all of my miniatures that are super dusty now to get the dust out.
Oh, okay.
I'm not going to be able to do it with I tried a feather duster and it was a nightmare. It was just like it's like I rolled it in miniatures. It's like a way to like fucking season it, you know?
Now, do you, have you used a Swiffer?
On like the area around it?
On the actual miniatures?
No, it's too small for that.
Oh.
They're like an inch tall, Mike.
Yeah, but like you don't have to put it in that device. You just take a Swiffer pad and just kind of wrap it around it and shake it a little bit.
I don't know. I worry about all the little pointy fiddly bits, you know?
That does a pretty handy job of cleaning most of my stuff. You might give it a whirl, you know? But like, if you have like little removable pieces, take those off first. And then do it. But
I think it's just I think they're just too fiddly to do something that large. Because even a cloth, if you wrap them wrong in a cloth, it'll snap their swords. You know,
or too fiddly to do it correctly.
They're really we've identified the problem.
Well, you know, Mike, I got to tell you, I'm sorry. My miniatures, Mike, they're incredibly valuable. All right. So, I think as lame as it sounds, I think as far as miniatures go, the thing I really want right now is a big glass case. I'm getting another case.
Lighted ones?
Yeah.
Oh God, I know. I want one of those. I want something like that too.
Yeah, those are real cool.
And a friend of mine is giving me an army case, which is something that I've wanted forever.
Whoa, that's a great present.
Yeah, it is a great present.
It must be a really good friend. There must be like a seriously prime top level. Great.
Yeah, I would say they're okay.
They're all right. You know, they got some
You guys are actively giving me diabetes.
I'm super excited about
Real
it.
gross.
I'm
gross.
super excited about it. I'm very, very excited.
I don't know if they're still a listener, but it's nice because the case was actually given to me by one of our listeners once upon a time, Ted Aiken, who I don't know if you're still a listener, but if you are, it's making the rounds. He gave me one of his Warhammer armies, which I'm still keeping the army. I just don't have use for the case, and DeWitt does. So, keep it in the
Yeah, and Ted, I am aching to put my miniatures in that case, bro.
You're going to fill her case with all your miniatures?
Yeah. I'm going to put my big boy butt sex pants on. And I am aching to put them in Ted Aiken's miniature case.
Good game.
How unappealing would that be for a Warhammer nerd's wife to write miniature case on her butt and be like, why don't you put your miniatures in my butt? And he'd be like, don't call them miniatures.
It's just organ.
Don't call them miniatures.
call them figurines.
Unload all your orcs or whatever in my face.
Why wouldn't you just say put your space marines in my butt? Why would you have to say put your miniatures?
Your little toys.
Your diminutive warriors.
Put your tiny little warriors in my butthole.
Fill me up with your armies.
So yeah, I'm super excited about it because even though I have magnetic bases on all of my stuff, taking it around is the worst. It's just the worst.
Even with a magnetic base.
Mike wants to make a magnetic penis base joke. Bad.
I already did.
It's been done.
But when you go to play a game of Warhammer, it's like when people were first trying to fly and everyone had their own ideas of how to fly, and some asshole shows up with fucking wings taped to his goddamn arms and jumps off a fucking barn. Another guy's got a fucking
bike with a propeller on it.
Yeah, another guy's got a bike with a propeller. Another guy's sitting on some kind of organ grinder that's supposed to just spin in a circle. Like, that's what it's like when everyone shows up with their armies, because no one has any fucking idea how to take these tiny little breakable things and put them in and bring them to a friend's house. No one knows how to do it. So, like, what happens is, like, you have one guy show up with 6 toolboxes, and you're like, what the fuck is this? And he's like, I've got everybody magnetically put in my toolboxes. And then another guy comes. There's another guy, my friend Will comes, and he just has Bed Bath & Beyond those push cabinets with the 3 drawers on them for your bathroom. He has 3 of those, and he just wheels them all the way to the garage with him, and that's where his miniatures are in that. And I'm like, what? This is crazy. This is like when a council of wizards meets up, and everyone like looks like one guy's got a fucking deer head on, another guy's got from the future, another guy's got a top hat. Like, it just
that only sucks when you realize that you're the Radagast of that situation. You're like, oh,
I am not the Radagast. You know what? Maybe I am, because mine is always on a magnetic. Like a picture frame that I've got magnetic tape on, and I just have it like a tray. Like I'm just
you might be the Radagast of your.
No, I know who the Radagast is. The Radagast is my buddy John Roy, who brings his miniatures in the case they came in. So in the box they came in, dropped in there loose. Bits flying everywhere.
Oh, shit.
On a string draped over his shoulder.
And he takes wads of toilet paper and throws them in there as padding in between the miniatures. But it's like so haphazard. It's like, what is this? And then for the first hour, every time he's like, oh, this guy's fucking hammer broke again, man. Oh, this guy's fucking shit's all broken. And it's like, yeah, no kidding. You put it in a bozo box. Like, it doesn't make any sense. Anyway.
So my items, so I don't know, this is a really fucking tough one. I've got lots of stuff. I mean, I like to collect the Criterion movies, and a lot of them are out of print now. So I think some of those, there's a Blood for Dracula.
I like to collect the Criterion films.
Yeah, right. The films. Flesh for Frankenstein and Blood for Dracula, those are both out of print, and I would like both of those. But I think my real big thing is, so apparently when the Dark Crystal came out, all the a lot of the designers and stuff from that worked with actual fashion designers to make like these actual fashion pieces that you could buy at like Bergdorf's and stuff that were Dark Crystal, like high couture style pieces.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and they're all like very 80s, and they're super cool, and some of them are really, really awesome. I posted them on my Instagram before, but they just are one of the coolest things I've ever seen. And once upon a time I stumbled upon one on like eBay or Etsy or something, because it's not like they were one of a kind pieces. You could go into like say Nordstrom and buy them or whatever, but they were a little bizarre for the time, and
they were limited for sure.
Yeah, they were limited for sure. And when Dark Crystal came out, it wasn't what it is now. So I doubt that there was anyone buying it going, oh, this will be important, you know? So there's a crappy video of it you can look up on YouTube that just has like terrible quality that shows some of the pieces. And then there's a couple spreads you can find because they did a photo shoot for Vogue with it. And honestly, at this point, I would settle for having the copy of Vogue that had the actual spread with all the pictures of all the clothes in it, because you can't find them anywhere. But like the Holy Grail would be one of the pieces from that collection. And obviously you'd probably never wear it or anything, but it just...
No, you should wear it for sure.
I feel that way about the Back to the Future Nikes and about the Aliens Reeboks, but the original Aliens Reeboks that came out when the movie came out that were high tops, but like extended high tops like she wore in the film.
Yeah.
And they have done re-releases of it, but they changed the soles and stuff like that, you know.
They modernized it a little bit. Yeah, exactly.
And I got like the low-cut ones that Bishop wears, but it's not the same. It's not what I really, really want, you know. So yeah. And I wouldn't wear those either. I would just have them in my like shoe cubby. Yeah. Just for people to remark on when they saw them, you know.
Right. Yeah, and every now and then I'd look at them and I'd smile.
Yeah. Just knowing that they weren't in the hands of someone else. That's the important thing.
Right.
And you tell everyone, you go, this is not for play, this is for display.
Yeah.
Right. And if they try and touch them, I slap their hand.
Smack.
Dude, do you remember a madman named Dan Bialek, Mike?
I've heard the name.
He used to do podcasts with Mike and Jerry.
Right back. Continue on your...
All right, do your thing. All
Someone's
right, so
got a fart.
while Avery's going to take his big, nasty shit, we'll talk about Dan Bialek.
That is the perfect segue.
So I was over at his house recording like an action figure therapy or something, and he had the G.I. Joe with the Kung Fu grip from the Vietnam War era or whatever, you know.
Sure. Yeah.
And I didn't know it was the original one. I was like, man, these old G.I. Joes look like shit. And then like I was like wiggling his arms back and forth, and they turned to dust in my hand. The arms just shattered in my hand and crumbled to nothingness. They crumbled to nothingness, and just the hands hit the floor. You know, like the forearms just totally disintegrated.
That is a nightmare.
Dan was like, Andrew, that G.I. Joe was the G.I. Joe that my dad got right before he went to the Vietnam War. From my grandmother. And I was like, what was it doing right here where I could play with it? I was like,
what was it doing where I can play with it? It's the best response I've ever heard.
He's like, well, I didn't expect anyone to come out here just touching shit. And I was like, dude, that's all I do when I'm around things. I just grab things and play with them. I felt real bad.
That is
I did
fucking
feel
nuts,
real
though.
bad about that.
That it disintegrated like that is crazy. It's
Well,
like
that toy plastic from that time is bad.
yeah, but it's like, goddamn, put it in a case or some shit. It's, you know.
Oh, yeah.
Even back then, it was like 30 years old. You know?
Yeah, I know.
That was not your fault.
No, it wasn't my fault. But it was like, now that I'm not friends with him, it is funny to think about him seeing the arms just turn to dust in my hands as I go, this guy sucks.
It showed as your grandpa.
Oh man. I remember the sound of the hands just hitting the floor, like pop, pop, no. And I was like, what the fuck?
You're like piecing together, yeah, like what just happened?
What a wild nightmare moment that must have been for him.
No. Yeah, like, I didn't know at all.
That probably drove him insane.
Dude, you know what made him? Did you hear? Okay, so I'm going to say one more thing about this guy, and then we'll move on because Avery doesn't know him. But,
right. Okay.
His parents had a real nasty divorce, and then his dad died. So our two other friends who you guys will know from other podcasts Mike and I and Jerry have done, called Danish and O'Neill, they, for one Halloween, decided to dress up as his mother and father for Halloween. And they showed up at his house dressed up as his parents. And then the whole night they kept telling him that they were going to get back together just for him. It kept...
Oh, God.
This is the worst thing I've ever heard.
They kept slow dancing. Have you seen the pictures? They kept slow dancing together, and they kept looking at him and saying, "We're getting together. We're getting back together for you, Danny. We're getting back together." Oh my God! And he was like, "Oh," because it was a Comedy Store party, kind of. So he was like trying to be like, yeah, whatever, you know.
He had to be like, yeah, this doesn't affect me. Yeah.
But the rage meter boiled to the point where, like, some kid was like threw eggs at his house like at 10 p.m. and he came outside with either a baseball bat. I've also heard handgun, and I believe both of them, and was screaming at the kid. And a police chopper came and turned the light on Dan, yelling and screaming. And the thing that's so great about it is the catalyst to this is these two idiots Mike and I know who are really good friends with, who dressed up like his divorced parents to fuck with them for Halloween. I mean, that's
I love that the kids think that it was the eggs.
Yeah.
The kids are like, we threw some fucking eggs at this guy's house.
I don't know what happened.
Came out waving a fucking gun at us, calling us motherfuckers.
Dude, yeah.
Saying he was going to blow us away.
Dude, that's amazing. Anyway. That's my last story about that guy for this podcast. You're lucky you didn't meet him. You almost could have, you know? You almost could have, and you would have dealt with all kinds of weird stuff.
The stars have
yeah. So let's do another question then.
Yeah.
Our good friend Anthony at Born to Run, and I love your dance, Mike. That is like, is that the question dance?
I watched Future Islands video of them performing on Letterman.
Yeah.
And his dancing kind of got in my head while I was watching.
Now the music's in your veins. Yeah, I understand.
Yeah. So you like sad robot giant music.
with a hint of Meatloaf in it.
Yeah.
But that lead singer is out of his fucking gourd, and I love it. And he's so fun to watch on stage. If you guys haven't seen it, Google Future Islands Letterman, and it's one of the best live performances ever.
No, I like them for sure. So I could imagine that going tits up pretty quick, you know?
Yeah. I don't think they're long for this earth.
Born to Run, our friend and listener, asks us, he says, let's have some fun. If Power Pals had a movie, what would be the premise for their first big screen adventure? First of all, Anthony, I love your confidence that there'd be more than one. Like the first.
Yeah,
like we don't have to, like,
yeah.
You know, later on we can get to the more serious
Dude,
stuff,
he is right in that we would title it The First Power Pals Adventure and Ambition.
And then never and then never have another one.
And then reluctantly release and then we would reluctantly release all of our uncolor corrected footage to our Kickstarter backers.
Thanks, guys.
It would be, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Probably, I think it.
Easy one be we all go to con together.
Yeah,
and like have like the kind of like the trials and tribulations of like Mike's trying to like get like a special figure at like some vendor, and I'm like in cosplay getting harassed, and like, you know, I mean, like, and Andrew goes to like some gaming meetup and like hates everybody there. Like, it would be awesome. I could totally see that.
That could totally be a con movie for sure. Another idea is like just what I would legitimately do for a movie if we were going to do one would be vignettes that are basically just like movie versions of a lot of our stories.
Yeah.
And do it kind of like Drunken History.
Like Power Pals, the movie. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Do it kind of like Drunken History where it's people mouthing us all talking, you know?
Yeah, I think that could work. Both of those could work.
Or
my idea is a little, animated would be the way to go, I think.
Oh, that's great. Yes, that's a great idea. Yes.
My idea is a little bit different, where a giant spider goddess is taking over the earth, and she's going to kill everyone unless we fly a suicide mission giant space dildo into her butthole, and it plays that sad music by Aerosmith from like right as we push because I miss you, baby. Right as we push through her finger,
I feel like
slowly enveloped inside of her.
I feel like we would almost have to bring in Jerry for that, just because of the Aerosmith tie-in.
So this is how we would do it. We would tie him Mad Max Fury Road style to the front of the face.
Yeah, he's basically the Hulk to our Avengers. I've always been corny.
And so we'll tell him, Jerry, not only will this feel scarier than a roller coaster, but you're going up a butt.
And I don't want to miss a thing.
And we also have Cody on life support in our thing. And then right before we go into the butthole for no reason at all, we just kick him out of the spaceship and he tumbles towards Earth and crashes and dies.
We just inject his cryo pump. No reason.
Seeing Cody burn up on entry into the atmosphere.
he's in a coma. He's in a coma in a hospital.
By the betrayal.
He's in a coma in a hospital bed. We just dump him out right before we go into orbit, and there was no reason to bring him other than to drop him into the fucking ocean.
Just wanted to lighten the load on re-entry.
It cost us $32 million to accommodate him on the ship. And the fuckers just kicked him out.
You guys lied to us and said You guys lied to us and said that the spider goddess's rectum would cure his cancer. And we're like, we always knew this was a one-way ticket, chemosophy. This is just our last hurrah. And then we just saw shove Cody's hospital bed out of the back of the spaceship.
The spider fucking explodes, a wormhole's created, credits. Then after the credits, we're all like, the ship is dusty and all fucked up on the ground. And we come out of it and we're surrounded by My Little Pony.
My Little Pony. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, Mike, perfect. Perfect. That's the Powerhouse movie. The first.
Yeah.
First one.
The adventure begins.
Did you guys really need 45 minutes of CGI footage of the spider goddess having orgasms while you drove the spaceship up her butthole? Was that integral to the plot? And also, you kept playing the Aerosmith song the whole time on loop.
Your whole soundtrack was just the Aerosmith song.
Was it important that she, as you put it, came so hard she lactated? That needs to happen, that she lactated web fluid all over the Chrysler building?
I'm gonna go to the script real quick. It says here that the spider goddess comes so hard that she lactates web fluid out of her dick nipples.
And that this is vitally important to the script.
Which covers all of North America, and all the hot girls that are hit by it grow huge boners and start butt fucking their boyfriend.
I'll be the first to admit the script might have gotten away from us in the third act.
Mike, I love it. I love the script. And I also love the fact that during that whole scene, after she has like over the top ridiculous orgasm after ridiculous orgasm, it keeps cutting to us in the spaceship being like, oh, hold on.
Turbulence.
And we're using the cockpit. What is this thing called in a plane? What is this thing?
Joystick?
The cockpit. The cockpit joystick.
It's not called the joystick in a plane. What is it
They
called?
call it the joystick in a plane.
The joystick of a plane. We're in the front seat and we just keep doing, we're all keep doing with the joystick, like frantically doing this. And then the best part about the soundtrack is the whole song plays and ends, and then you have to hear it take like a second beat of silence and it start all over again.
Yeah, it just kicks in. All 16 tracks on the soundtrack are the same song, and it's not even different versions of it. No. But there's a bonus track though. Is it also the same song? Yes.
In this sweet surrender,
and then I kiss your eyes.
Somewhere Liv Tyler is crying.
Just watching that play all the way to the end. And
Did you guys feel you had to cast Liv Tyler as the spider goddess? It's important.
Yeah, we told her. Yeah, but she didn't know. You wouldn't give her the whole script, so she's like not like playing. She doesn't know what she's doing.
So she doesn't know she's orgasming to her father's music. No, she's not aware of that. As far as we know.
Oh my god! It's so good. It's such a good screenplay. Just the awkwardness of a giant spider goddess like convulsing, and then that gets really loud, and then that's all you hear before the slow intro begins again for the Aerosmith song.
With like the violin coming up.
Yeah. By the third time it happens, you don't know. You don't know if it's ever going to stop.
I would be equally excited to see this film as I would be to see a filmed version of the pitch meeting for this film. Each one could be a feature-length movie, and I would be totally satisfied.
Right, the documentary on the making of is Oscar-worthy itself.
I would have one camera just devoted to the head of Paramount's face as he's listening to this plot.
Yeah. Paramount, Lucasfilm, and
Fox and Sony all come together to produce this movie.
Put their differences aside to make the movie the Millennium.
Oh my God.
We have ignored all legal counsel.
There's only one creature to make this film. You know, it's just the spider guys. That's what we press release. We're saying it like we're issuing war on the country. We've decided it will be released uncut. Also, I think it's 30 minutes.
Andrew, it sounds to me like Tron has consumed you.
Yeah. I just got to note, you are the host now. Uh-oh, I think we lost.
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
Oh, well, there goes everything.
Real-time difficulties. I had a feeling that was going to happen considering his conversations.
Can you, since we're still recording,
yes.
Can you invite him back into the room and see if that works?
Can I do that? I think he just has.
Oh yeah, I'm back. We just had an internet. We were
still recording. We were still recording while you were gone, so hopefully it'll all come out.
Yeah, it's happened before with the internet just had a hiccup, but it's saying we're recording on my screen still. So
okay, great.
We were fully golden during all that time, so it's good.
Okay.
Now, what was I going to say? Oh, how are we on time?
Oh, we got about, we can do like 15 more minutes. Does that sound good? So
okay, let's
do you think
one
we have
more
enough
question or something.
Yeah, I got a question. Yeah. Okay. So Jake Dunnand at Omega Cloud says, what is the best game everyone has played this year? Thanks. Love you three. Love you too, Jake. And all right, you guys want to do this?
Okay.
I think I know what Mike's going to go for.
What do you think I'm going to go for?
Predator.
I think you're going to go for Ghost of Sushi.
Ghost of Sushimi?
Yes, Ghost of Sushimi, yes.
As I called it the first time I was on here. Boy, is it way up there. There are a lot of tough competitors right now because Predator, I've been waiting to play that game since ’87, basically.
My whole life, yeah.
Yeah, and they nailed it, and I really, really like it. Tsushima is a completely different animal, and it's much more akin to Red Dead Redemption, but with samurai.
Yeah.
And another thing I've been waiting for my whole fucking life is any game to finally get swordplay where I wanted it, where it really feels authentic, and that as you pick up skills, it makes sense. You're never just like overpowered by someone just because they wanted to overpower you. Like they have to actually earn it in the fight and be more skilled at fighting than you are. But all of that said, this weekend I played the Avengers beta for the entire weekend, and it rocked my fucking ass. It was so good.
That's awesome.
They made each character as good as I would want them to be right from the start. And then it was more like, rather than, how in a lot of games like that, the first level, you're just not leveled up very much. and you have a character like the Hulk running away from bad guys and shit like that, which would never happen.
Yeah.
In this, they didn't do that. They made him as powerful as he is, but the way you level up is he learns different things to do with his powers.
That's
rather than he's never weaker than he ought to be or what have you, you know.
That's a good way to do it. I like that.
Yeah, and it's they just finesse their powers more as they go along. And
well, because even in like the way that the cinematic universe plays out, that's how there's no such thing as like a baby Hulk. You know what I mean?
Right.
At worst, he's like Bruce Banner with no idea what to do with himself. You know?
Yeah. And it's like, and they'll put you up against characters that are challenges for that, or that like they may put you in a room where you can't turn into the Hulk or some shit like that, and you have to solve the problems without all these powers that you've been relying on. But it's never something that doesn't make sense. You know, it all kind of fits within the world, you know. And
yeah, I think that's good. That's so key for a superhero game.
Yeah, and it's going to be multiplayer too. It's going to have up to 4 players at a time for missions and stuff like that. So I'm very excited about that. But if it's just pure enjoyment so far this year, it's probably Ghost of Tsushima. And I did not expect that to be quite as good as it was. And it's really a lot of fucking fun.
Okay, great. It looks fantastic. I mean, it looks absolutely gorgeous.
What horse did you pick, Mike?
I took the digital deluxe horse that came with the pre-order package, and he's very fancy looking.
What did you name him?
Oh, I didn't name him. I named him like I know the name. You could choose from different names, and the one that I picked was something Storm. I forget what the first part was, but
Shadow Storm.
I kind of wanted to name him after Storm Shadow, you know, but that was the only word in there that I recognized, and was Arashikage, and I was like, oh yeah, I'll call him that.
Oh, Kage. Yeah, so Kage. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I judge people based on the horses they pick.
But yeah, you saw pictures of mine on my posts.
Well, if you got the special edition, why not? You know, and I think even just visually, like the colors were like black, white, and gray, and then you had like the brown ones. So you know,
right. And but I like that during after you complete a mission, you'll usually be doing something interesting with your downtime, like drinking sake, or like the horse will be nudging you to like go on to the next mission or something, you know, or you're feeding him, or you guys are resting together or something like that. So they really like have you kind of bond with it. And although I liked the idea in Red Dead Redemption of if your horse dies, that's fucking it, and you have to get a new horse. But I got so attached to my horses that I started to hate it when that happened, and just didn't want to deal with it. And I like that in this one, it's like, yeah, your horse can get fucked up real bad, but he's going to live through it, and he's with you through the whole adventure, you know?
Yeah, that happened. That was a big pet peeve with a lot of people on the very first Fallout game back in 97 or 98 for PC. You get a dog called Dog Meat that follows you around. And people hated that it could get killed. And in the last level of the game, there's so much dangerous stuff that there's no way Dog Meat could survive. And one guy got famous for posting a video of how he kept Dog Meat alive until the end by basically having to lock him in closets while he fought mutants, you know, and then unlock the Dog Meat from closets and then trick him into getting stuck in a kitchen and locking all the doors to the kitchen while he went off and killed these other mutants, and just doing that like painfully slowly in order to just keep this dog alive.
Wow. You know? That's awesome.
Yeah, man. So I definitely get it. Like every time someone does that in a game, people are like, hey, you don't kill my animal friend. Like people get like super pissed about that shit. You
Yeah.
know?
Oh yeah, even Shadow of Colossus, like the horse that you have the whole time, like really close to the end, it's just unavoidable. There's nothing you can do about it. It's just a progress of the game that
Yeah.
spoilers, something horrible happens to the horse. And it is at the point where I'm like, you're like, fuck it. I didn't do that. That wasn't
Yeah.
my fault, you know?
Yeah, I just spent 60 hours with that horse and you
Yeah.
fucking killed it, you know?
Yeah, dude, that kind of stuff makes me sick.
I like knowing that will probably not happen to the Hulk.
Yeah, probably not.
You won't trip in a
because
hole and have to get put down, you know?
Yeah.
it would have to be preceded with the trial of the Incredible Hulk first, and then he would get sick. So for 2020, I'm trying to think. New games I didn't play a lot. I'd say I restarted playing Divinity Original Sin 2, which is fantastic. A fantastic role-playing game. But honestly, the game I had the most fun with in 2020, and this is going to sound stupid, was Sims 4.
Yes,
for sure.
with your
sure.
magical school pack.
Yeah, with my wizard school pack where I learned to be a wizard.
Oh.
So you've been playing Harry Potter.
It was off the hook, dude.
Potter.
But grown
I guess
up.
you've been playing The Magicians, technically, then?
Yeah, it's more like The Magicians, yeah.
So grown up Harry Potter, you're playing.
Grown up Harry Potter, yes. I was playing grown up Harry Potter in The Sims, which is the shit. And I married a vampire, and now we have an underground secret lair orgies with all the other witches, and we have a club for it too, because I've got the club pack, which makes you able to give experience to club members if they perform certain actions. And so if they make woohoo with other members of the club, then they get bonuses to all their charisma checks and stuff like that in the game. So
I have a feeling one of the witches is going to take legal action eventually about the way you're running this place.
I like too that you saying make woohoo is not a euphemism. That's what it is in the game.
The game it is make woohoo. Make woohoo in bush, make woohoo in closet, make woohoo in the coffin was great. I got an achievement for it. Because my vampire wife pulled me into her spooky coffin and we banged in the coffin. That was fantastic.
Wait. She initiated. I thought you had to choose to do the woohoo. Your girl pulled you in and you did woohoo?
Yeah, we did woohoo in the coffin. We were married already. We were married.
Yeah, but you initiated the woohoo. Like you didn't get a choice on to engage.
She made you woohoo in the coffin.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think. Once she's in my household,
because the only time I've ever in I mean, maybe I'm just not as sophisticated as you, but I've had to say, I've had to select, not only make woohoo, but if we're gonna have babies, I have to say we're either gonna make woohoo or we're gonna make a baby.
Oh no, I think she picked it herself. She was in my household because she was my wife, but she picked. It was on her list of things that she picked to do. So she picked make woohoo with me. Were the normal, Zorbo! And they jump into the coffin, and it starts going crazy, and it's going
fucking awesome. Let's do it.
Did she offer?
It's going
Did she offer to make undead babies at any point?
No, but they asked if I wanted to make a baby because my character has a wang, even though she's a lady. So she pees standing up, and
how do you do that? How did you do that?
Oh, you can customize that in your gender settings.
Well, I know, but there isn't where's the question mark setting? There was just boy.
Oh no, you go into your gender setting when you're making your character, and you can select to pee standing up, and you can also select can impregnate, and then so you have a penis, and you're a hot sim girl.
There's no. Oh my god, that's crazy.
Where is the pee stored, Andrew, in your character?
As Yoda would tell Congress, that pee is stored in the balls.
I love that they
crazy to think that was the standard of like off the rails. You know what I mean? That like that was the craziest thing you could imagine. And now we live in a world where everyone like, has to wear masks and lives at home.
Yeah.
It's great.
Yeah.
There are
Dude,
a lot
I think it's so
pee in the balls folks that don't wear masks too.
Dude, my parents hated me sending them that meme every day for like a week. It doesn't make sense. It makes sense to us, but that's because our brains have been diseased by the internet.
Ill.
Yoda would never do this.
I just want to break down how different it is. Because it's so much different than a regular meme because it's like a distilled super whiskey meme, it's so fucking so pure and good, it's not like, oh shit, this guy dresses like this for work and you feel embarrassed when you dress like this. No, it's a puppet that's not an official. It's like a store-bought puppet of Yoda. Dabbing. He is dabbing before Congress, all applauding them as he signs into law the statement. He is stored in the balls. It is so good. It's so good.
They're applauding that this is the law of the land.
He's literally dabbing as he signs into law. Dude, it is so good. It shows you how depraved our brains have gotten that people enjoy that meme.
You know how they have that like AI making art now? It's like if AI did Idiocracy, it's like so, it's such like a fractal of a thought,
Dude, it's my favorite fucking meme I've ever seen. I laughed for a year. I laughed so hard because it was paired with memes from 10 years ago. It's like memes from 2010 or whatever. And it's like,
like Velociraptor.
It's like another invitation to Farmville. Like that. And then it's like memes now. Yoda signing into law, P is stored into the ball so everyone claps for him is off the hook crazy. It's an insane person's thing. And I loved it. And I still love it. I'm like, I look at that and I'm like, oh, fuck yes. This shit is hitting fucking all the sweet spots. Oh, dude. God damn it. What a great meme. Dude,
wait,
I can't tell you how mad my parents were.
Maybe this is our first movie. Is you just describing this meme
talking about
for an hour and a half?
My dad never thought that was funny. He also hated Strangers with Candy too, even though I love that fucking.
Wow.
He never had after school specials, so he doesn't understand the entire world it's built around.
My dad is such like a weird segment of like, my dad is I think he's a time traveler. I think he's like Quantum Leap or something because he gets like current memes, but he was also, he was into Strangers with Candy and all that stuff. He said something the other day where he like sort of called my mom like a Karen, like in a way that she didn't understand, but it bothered her more that she knew that there was something that she didn't understand than like the actual insult itself. It was so great.
Yeah, I think my parents are part of the boomer generation where cynicism towards the idea of the fabric of our civilization, like the idea of society and like being accepted into society, and everyone should be nice and work hard and try hard. Like the extreme cynicism to that makes them kind of sick. Like they don't understand it, and they get really weirded out by it. So like Jerry Blank rolling around like pulling switchblades out and being like, pee on me, like, and saying all this fucked up shit. Like they just couldn't handle it. They hated it. They hated it. So when I kept sending them pee is stored in the balls over and over again, they didn't think it was funny at
I like
all.
that you knew they didn't like it and continued sending it to them.
Well, because I was like, it's so I mean, it's just the funniest shit I'd ever seen, and I couldn't believe they couldn't. Like, I didn't know why they couldn't figure out why this is funny. You know? Oh man, I love that.
Did we answer the question?
We almost did. It's my turn. Hold on. Wait. We had the best game, right? And that was so the best game. So Mike answered. Andrew, you did Sims for your magical mystery Harry Potter orgy. I've been actually playing a shit ton of Dead by Daylight lately, thanks to one of our listeners, and played with a couple listeners. And that is, if you're missing anything about Friday the 13th, I think it's definitely worth a revisit. It's so good. There's so much more like nuance and like customization to it, like so much more that you can do with your individual survivor. There's so much more variety on the killers. There's tons of different maps that have different things that are, you know, their own perks and negatives and stuff, and you learn the map and you'll spawn someone and be like, oh fuck this place, you know. Yeah, it just has a lot of character and a lot of obviously like horror movie love, because a lot of the characters' like unique abilities are sort of in a reference to the role that they played in whatever movie or character it's based off of, you know, like like there's a pack that like, and then in like the packs that you get, the DLC packs, you get a killer, a survivor, and a map. So it's a really cool option, you know, to kind of do like a bit of everything. And each of the survivors have perks where once you reach a certain level, you can teach other characters your perks. So it sort of helps to kind of have all characters, because they can end up basically spreading the wealth on whatever their benefit is. And
now, do they get to keep that from then on?
Oh yeah, for sure. It's their,
cool.
It's just a choice. You have like 4 slots for your perks. And then basically as time goes on, you unlock, it's kind of like how in Friday you have like the add-ons for your character, but there's only, you know, 2 or 3 slots or whatever. I think there's 4 in Dead by Daylight. So there's 4 that you can pick, and each character has 3 unique ones. So it's even that idea of like, do you know, have your character totally tricked out with everything that's just good for them, or do you get them to a point that they can kind of share the wealth? Because there's like a character that can heal herself, whereas normally you need like an item in the world or like an add-on to heal yourself. And if you get her to the point that she can teach it to everyone, then all of a sudden it becomes this really cool, just like back pocket ability on like all your characters is like, oh yeah, heal myself. But then if you're playing in a group with people and everyone sort of has a balance, if you have somebody in the group who you know is a good healer, you're like, well, then I'm not going to waste my perk on healing, you know, if I could use it for an escape mechanism or something. It's very cool. It has way more detail than Friday. It's a little bit less of a like horror movie love letter in the way that like, if you watch Friday, there's very distinct references. The maps look just like the movies. It feels like,
and they only had one character to deal with.
Exactly. And he's got a lot more, I think, you know, he's just got a lot of depth, you know, whereas for the killers in Dead by Daylight, it's just sort of their different attacks are different.
I kind of wondered, like, particularly for a character like Freddy, how they handled that and if they did him justice or what, you know.
Exactly. I was just going to say that. It's cool in that Freddy has unique, like, he's got, like, dream mechanics that, like, he can put you in a dream state and then you're more susceptible when you're in the dream state. But I still don't, like, the finesse on it is a little off. And like you said, the justice, it's not quite done the justice of like, how cool would it be to play like a fully like a Freddy version of the Jason game, you know, where you were like mechanics and stuff. And in this, it's just sort of a thing where it's like, oh, it's more like a debuff, you know.
Right.
I'm dreaming, so I don't have as much awareness. Or
I
whatever.
run into that playing Mortal Kombat 11,
Yes.
where they have characters like RoboCop and Terminator, and you're seeing like they look great and they have like very cool signature moves that fit them and stuff like that. But the whole time you're just thinking, well, now I just want to play a RoboCop game.
Yeah.
Yes, Mike. I
Because
was
clearly the technology is there.
Yeah.
You know?
I was just thinking that specifically with the Mortal Kombat like stuff, like because didn't they put Geralt in one of them?
Yeah,
I think so. Yeah, and Spawn.
And Spawn, dude. There hasn't been a Spawn game since what 2004 or something. You know, like So like a good Spawn game, a good Spawn model in Mortal Kombat would just make me want to play a Spawn game.
Well, the model in Mortal Kombat is out of this fucking world. And they got Keith David to do his voice just for that.
Oh,
and
that's awesome.
Just the whole time you're just thinking, God damn, it would be great to play a Spawn game with this sort of thing
hell
going
yeah,
on.
dude. It's a perfect universe for I don't know why it hasn't been more popular with video game stuff, you know?
I think they're getting close to the time where that needs to come out, you know.
Yeah, because you could make it a stealth game too, because Spawn has a real cool stealthy component. You can unlock, you know, because he does it in the comic book. He starts to unlock more and more powers as he goes on, you know.
You can start it while he's alive and basically a real fucked up government hitman. And show him like earning his place in hell.
Yeah, like an almost like Metal Gear Solid kind of start, you know, where it's very like tactical and it's very like all your abilities are like what kind of guns you have and what, you know, and martial arts techniques and shit.
But they did a good job with like, the lore of hell in that game too. Like when they show people going in there, like all the different levels and what they do and how you get tested in them and stuff. Like it would be real fun. That would be real fun, fighting your way and then being turned into Spawn, being spit out, you know, onto the earth. Like, I love that idea.
Check out some of his fatalities online and stuff like that. They really did a great job with how he fights and everything. But man, does it make you want a Spawn video game proper, you know?
Yeah.
Okay,
for sure.
I know we're running out of time, but I just want to ask, how do you guys feel about the original Spawn movie? Like, I know it's not fantastic, but like, what's your kind of final judgment on it?
Man, I feel like for the time that it was made, they did a damn good job, especially for an independent comic character. They had a good actor playing him. I was not crazy about John Leguizamo.
Really?
But
I think he's the best part of the movie.
I think he's the best part of the movie. Yeah, exactly.
I mean, yeah, I guess.
But I know how you feel, though, Mike, because Violator is reduced to kind of this campy, ridiculous thing. But if you're going to do it live action in the 90s, I think that's as good as it gets as far as that character goes.
But at the same time that he's kind of campy and lame, also Violator comes out as more of the bad guy than Malbolgia in that movie. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely so.
He's definitely more fighting Violator or the Clown than he is fighting like the big bad, you know?
Right.
Very confusing if you're not familiar with the Spawn.
Yeah, you know what? That didn't work for me as a kid seeing it either, because I was like, well, Violator's kind of like a henchman who also is like will help Spawn every now and then, you know?
Yeah.
But I liked it, and like I didn't hate him. I was just like, it was not my favorite thing in the film. I liked that they brought in Malbolgia and Cagliostro and really did a lot with their lore, and that they did do a lot of his what got him into hell sort of stuff, you know, to set it up. And I thought they set up the world very well for sequels, and I feel like they could have done it on the budget that they had. And even little things like there was that cameo of Angela in the party scene, you know, and stuff like that I really appreciated. I thought it was, I knew going in as a kid, I was like, this does not have the biggest budget, so kind of lower your expectations. And I thought they did a great job with what they had to work with, you know, and they made it look comparable to a lot of the stuff that I liked, like the 89 Batman and the Crow and stuff like that. You know, it fit right in as far as
that's interesting you bring those two movies up, though, Mike, because those two movies, as far as superhero movies go, before the big Marvel explosion, are the only two superhero movies I really give a shit about. You know, like,
I agree.
Well, they're definitely they fit right into the darker chapters.
And I just don't know why. I don't know why they were able to pull it off so much. I get how they were with Crow, right? I get how they could pull it off with Crow. But to pull off Batman so much better than every other superhero movie was crazy to me. You know?
Well, I got to interview the producer of it, and Michael Uslan, who was the first guy to teach a college course in comic books as literature. And that movie had been in the works the way he wanted to do it for about a decade before Tim Burton got involved, or before Nicholson or Keaton or anybody. And he literally was watching the shitty, you know, by his standards, Adam West show, and was so put off by that representation of Batman that he saved up his money and sank every penny he had into buying the rights to Batman. And then
that's a fan right there. Like,
the guy was at the first San Diego Comic-Con and has pictures of himself there, you know, and he dressed as the 1940s version of Sandman at that convention. So he's pretty legit. And he said he went around pitching the idea. Basically, he knew the only people that had like the ability to do it were the people that owned DC Comics and Warner Brothers at the time. So he owned the character, but he couldn't make the movie without them, basically. And so he kind of just kept pitching him this idea. And then finally, he found a picture of Jack Nicholson that was just right. And it was like a newsprint picture of him. And he just colored it in to look like the Joker. And he said once he was able to do that, it gave them an idea of where he was trying to take the movie. And after that, they were able to get the money to do it. And then Tim Burton was just the guy. They had done, you know, Beetlejuice, and it was so good and so different and so dangerous.
Yeah, I think they were looking for a star vehicle for Tim Burton too, because starting to
he had just left Disney, and they were like, "Oh, we have a real commodity on our hands," and he was like. And, you know, to be fair, Tim Burton made it his own. He didn't just, like, do a straight comic book adaptation. But what he did with it was tremendous. And he was like, I don't think it could be done better in the time that it was made than the way he did it. You know?
Yeah, I agree 100%. I mean, it's a real, like, because you look at any of the other attempts at other superhero stuff at that time. Even Superman, which is okay, you know. Superman
there's a lot to like about the first Superman.
Yes, there is.
The other one,
definitely
not quite so much, but
Batman was really nailed it. They really nailed it.
And I think it was like it still had the spirit of being fun and almost cartoony, but like you could enjoy it in adult sensibility. So it was like it didn't feel like they were lowering their standards in any way coming to it. It didn't feel like, oh, I'm going to some dumb kids movie.
Absolutely not.
Them with how much they enjoyed it, you know?
Yeah, and it took both of the characters seriously. And like I saw recently a making of thing of Jack Nicholson talking about the makeup process for the Joker and how he got like into a couple of fights with the producers about like little things like how green the hair was going to be. And he said, you know, they wanted it to be this neon sort of green thing. And I said, no, if you look in the comics, it's more like a highlight than this bright green. He goes, and little things like that would kind of make them skittish. And I was like, I want you to understand that just because I'm taking this seriously doesn't mean I'm not going to be humorous. The character is the Joker after all, but it means a lot to the people reading it. So I want to do it right. Like they were going to extend his chin and stuff like that. And even the makeup guy was on his side and was like, you're paying a lot of money for that face.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't want to lose it in the makeup just for a misguided attempt at comic book accuracy that no one is going to care about, because in the comics at that time, he had like that very long chin, and, but really when it came right down to it, the smile was much more important, and the mania, like Nicholson has that great thing with his eyes.
Yeah.
And Tim Burton had the wisdom of casting Michael Keaton, who had eyes that mirrored that,
and that was great. And there were protests, Mike. There were protests about it because they thought he was going to
I'll
suck.
be honest, I was against it. When I first heard the name, I hadn't seen a picture yet. And I was picturing the Adam West costume. And I just kept thinking of like the him and Johnny Dangerously and Mr. Mom and stuff like that, which actually would have worked for a campy type of Batman. I think he could have played that just as well. But
no, he did a great
they
job,
cast
dude.
him for that reason, and then he paid up in a different way,
Yeah, exactly. And
I mean, that's
Nicholson,
what
Nicholson said
Jack
that,
Sparrow did.
Yeah.
They cast him to be like Errol Flynn, and then he did a completely completely crazy thing and was nominated for an Oscar for it.
Yeah.
Tammy's got to go to work, so we got to wrap up in like a minute here.
Okay.
So that was a fantastic movie. And then we can get to the other question later.
Of course.
But let's.
I just want to say, I watched a 4K redo or whatever, the 4K version of Batman recently, and the whole like climax scene with Joker and like hanging from the helicopter and everything.
In the cathedral.
Is done in miniature, little dolls, and it's funny because they have really long holds on shots that are just these, like little dolls hang, and you're like, oh, it's not so dramatic anymore.
It's very Beetlejuice-esque.
Yes,
in a lot of ways.
exactly.
Yeah, I would love to see that.
Well, you guys have been listening to Power Pals.
That's
My name is Andrew DeWitt. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at DeWittiot. What about you, Avery?
Oh, well, you can find me on the social mediums as Sick Horse with a 0 instead of an O. How about you, Michael Black?
I am at Mike Black Attack on all social media. I also do a podcast called The Nighttime Show, which is where that interview with Michael Uslan took place, if you're curious about that. And follow my Instagram because it's a lot of fun.
It sure is.
All right. Sounds good. And we'll talk to y'all soon.
Bye, guys.
Go away.